Hello guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to solve a question on periodic functions. Okay, the question says f of x is equal to 2x squared minus x for x greater than or equal to 0 and x less than or equal to half. Okay, so the question says, given that the period is 1 and the function is odd, find f into minus half and f into 3 on 4. Okay, so let's start. Let's take the first one, which is f into minus half. Okay, now let's look at our range. Our range is from 0 to half, which is the same as 0 to 0.5. So this is our range. Okay, but the question said that the function is odd. So let's deal with that first. For an odd function, f of minus x is the same as minus f into x. So f into minus half is the same as minus f into half. Okay, so let's leave it like that. So now let's take this one. F into half. Is half in our range? The range is x is greater than or equal to 0 and x is less than or equal to half. So half is in our range because half, yes, it can be equal to half. It's equal to half. So half is greater than or equal to 0 and half is less than or equal to half. So half is in our range. So we are going to take f into half. So we are going to substitute it in our function. Since it is already in the range, we are just going to substitute it in the function. If it was not in the range, then we could have done other things in order to find a number which will be in the range. But now it is already in the range, so we can substitute it directly. So we have 2 into half squared minus half. Okay, so we have 2 into 1 squared on 2 squared minus half. So that is the same as 2 into 1 squared is 1, is the same as 1, and 2 squared is 4. So that is minus half. And then here we have 2 on 4 minus half. So 2 on 4, it can be simplified. So 2 can go here 1 time and 2 can go into 4 2 times. So we are left with half minus half. Okay, this gives us 0. It gives us 0. But now f into minus half now is going to be minus 0. Remember, we first of all had f into minus half, and this function, we were told that it is an odd function, and for odd functions, f into minus x is equal to minus f into x. So when we had this our f into x, f into half, it was in the range, so we put it in our function, we solved it, and we had 0. So now we come back here, that is f into minus half equal to minus 0 because f into half is 0. So so this is f into minus f into half. And now f into half is 0, so it's just going to be minus 0. So we can say that f into minus half is equal to 0. Minus 0 is 0. So that is what we have for the first one. So let's go to the second one. F into 3 on 4. Okay, so we still have our range, that is 0 to half, or 0 to minus 0.5. That is still our range. Okay, so again, the function is odd, so let's deal with that. For odd functions, f into minus x is equal to minus f into x. Okay, so minus f into 3 on 4 is equal to f into minus 3 on 4. Okay, let's take 3 on 4. 3 on 4 is 3 on 4 in our range. 3 on 4 is the same as 0.75. That is 3 on 4. So is 0.75 in our range? Let's check. 0.5 is the highest number, but 0.75 is greater than 0.5. So 3 on 4 is not in our range, so we cannot substitute it directly. So let us look for a number which is in our range. Okay, so to look for a number which can be in our range, since 3 on 4 is a positive number, so we are going to subtract 1, which is the period. We are going to subtract 1 from 3 on 4 until we have a number which is in our range. Okay, so we have 3 on 4 minus 1. So 3 on 4 minus 1 is minus 1 on 4. Okay, now we have minus 1 on 4. But remember, we take 1 on 4. Is 1 on 4 in our range? 1 on 4 is 0.25. Is 0.25 in our range? Yes, 0.25 is less than 0.5. But since the function is odd, then f into minus 1 on 4 is the same as minus f into 1 on 4. That is why we can use this like this. That is why we can use minus 1 on 4 like that. But if we were not told if the function was odd, we could not substitute it like this, because this will give us minus 0.25, and minus 0.25 is not in the range. That is why we're told that the function is odd. So since the function is odd, we can use it like that. So now let's take f into 1 on 4. Let's take this and substitute it in our function. So this is 2 into 1 on 4 square minus 1 on 4. Okay, so this is the same as 2 into 1 square on 4 square minus 1 on 4. So 1 square is 1 and 4 square is 16. So we have minus 1 on 4. Okay, now we have 2 on 16 minus 1 on 4. So now let's simplify this. Okay, 2 and 16. 2 and 16, we can simplify it further. So 2 can go here 1 time, 2 can go into 16 8 times. So we'll be left with 1 on 8 minus 1 on 4. Okay, now let's simplify this. We can simplify it by using the LCM. So the LCM there is 8. So you have 1 minus 8 divided by 4 is 2. So this gives us minus 1 on 8. Okay, so f into 1 on 4 is minus 1 on 8. But remember, from above, since the function is odd, we are just going to have f into minus 1 on 4 is equal to minus f into 1 on 4. So that is what we have. That is what we had originally. So now we know that f into 1 on 4 is minus 1 on 8. So we are just going to substitute it. So f into minus 1 on 4 is equal to minus into minus 1 on 8. So this gives us 1 on 8. Okay, so from there, since f into minus 1 on 4 is the same as f into 3 on 4, then we can conclude that f into 3 on 4 is equal to 1 on 8. Okay, so that is what we have. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.